But somehow or another, this team is exactly like that 2011 team. They just it's all offense,
Yeah.
and the defense seems to show up in certain games, and in other games it just something's missing on both sides of the ball, and that's just what they remind me of. They've got all this fancy tools and toys, but then when it doesn't seem to work, it's like a broken record that just keeps skipping over to the same 5 words, and it just.
Yeah.
I told everybody in the off season, so Dave, that's what it reminded me of, to watch out, and we kind of knew how they were going to feel, and that this season was going to be weird for them because it looks really pretty, and then other times you're going, what the hell is up with this team? So,
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say this at number 6. I know I'll probably get yelled at for it. Um, I actually dropped the 49ers to 6, guys. Um, I think that this is the second out of 3 weeks that they've barely skimmed by the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a 3-7-1 team. Yes, they're a divisional rival, but they, if you go look at what the Niners have done in the first half of the season compared to now, they should be slamming those guys away. They shouldn't be leaving 3-point spreads on the board with either a final score or with 31 seconds to go in the game. So I got to
no,
put the
you know what?
49ers at
I'm not going
6.
to yell at you for that because you have a very solid reason. Like, look, there's when we do
They
power
lost to
rankings,
Seattle, and they're a legit
no,
team.
no,
I
Dave.
mean,
Why
yeah.
do why did we decide to put all this frickin' time into doing power rankings? Because
No, I got you.
we both feel like the way it's done is all about numbers and records and this and that. And to me, power ranking is talking about football and what is on a football field. And just looking at records and stats don't say enough. Like, if you're just going to go records, it's easy. You just go,
Yeah.
it's basically draft order. This is the worst team, this is the best team. And I feel like a lot of them, even the respected ones, even if it's not just all records based, then it goes off of advanced stats and passing yards and where your defense is ranked and this and that.
Hmm.
And you know what? I've been listening to Lockdown Packers podcast with Peter Bukowski, which if you don't listen to it, follow
Should.
it. It's excellent. He does an excellent job. And he brought up this point. Like, the Packers defense is like does below average against the really good teams, which is when you look at all the teams that play really good teams, their defense is usually number statistic wise below average. Now what they are is they are above average when they're playing teams that they should be, and so it's all relative is basically what he's saying. It's like it's not about who you're playing necessarily all the time too, is what he's saying. It's about when you play them. And that's what football is. Like any given Sunday, anything can happen. You got to look at each game, consider it all, and then rank them accordingly. And that's kind of why we do our power rankings the way we do it. It's a little different, but I don't know.
I mean, but that's why I have them also another reason why I have them at 6. You just said it. The other defense plays well against below average teams, but the thing is, the Cardinals is a very well below average team, and
And they
their
didn't play
defense
that well.
is they're getting smoked by Kenyon Drake in that offense, who just got added in 3 weeks ago, and literally the 2 days before he had one of his best career games that night against the 49ers defense. So, and they're making Larry Fitzgerald look like a damn, like a 29-year-old again. Christian Kirk is getting big old chunks down the field. So what makes me think Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, um, and
Well, and you
MVS ain't going
saw
to be
you
doing
saw
that. So it just,
Gordon when they had to have a third down the week before. They threw it to him.
yeah,
I mean, when they had to have it, they were able to get whatever yardage they wanted. The Seahawks, I'm talking about.
Sherman couldn't get around Gordon.
So,
He's so damn big. He
look,
couldn't even reach around.
I don't have to agree with you, but I'm not going to yell at you because it's
Oh
not. You
no,
got
you're
good
good. I'm
reason.
not trying to
Um,
feel bad over.
no, you're
I need to
fine.
see some oomph out of the 49ers, and I haven't seen it.
So, at number 10 this week, up 10 spots because they got their quarterback back. He came back hobbled, and he showed that he does do those little things that make the difference. The Colts at number 9, up 2 spots this week, is the Cowboys. The Chiefs at number 8, up 2 spots. 7 is the Saints, up 1 spot. The Vikings are staying at number 6 this week. That's, I mean, they won. It was an ugly win. I'll give them credit. It wasn't pretty, but they whatever. They didn't. It wasn't. They won, but it wasn't impressive enough. The way they had to win to move them up, and the fact that they won, I didn't feel like I was going to move them down any over the other teams because the Saints beat the Bucks. I think the Bucks are actually not as impressive a win as actually the Broncos. I feel like are better because of their defense, at least for Kirk Cousins. That offense without Thielen, it's a harder matchup there for them. So, yeah, the Vikings don't move. Not impressive either way. They're just kind of meh this week for me. So they stayed at 6. All right, top 5, Dave.
So I've got the Patriots at 5. I dropped them because they keep playing really ugly games in a row, and they just cannot seem to get the offense going. They have to rely on the run game or Julian Edelman to throw touchdowns. That offense gave every willing chance to the Eagles, and the Patriots barely pulled it out. So I can't have any faith in them. Yeah, they have Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Well, Brady looks his age, guys. Same thing as Phillip Rivers. It looks like Peyton Manning last year in his league when age caught up to him. They're throwing passes, and it just I'm sorry. That game in Philly solidified it. There was ducks in the air. If it was hunting season, you would have seen dead ducks all over the field. It was that bad. And when you have to rely on your wide receiver who used to be a quarterback in college to throw touchdown passes, that's when I know something's wrong. So number 4, I've got the Packers over the Patriots. I know they had a bye week, but everyone's healthy, and they look like they're prepared. They look like they're ready to hit their stride. I mean, Matt LaFleur said one big thing this week that why I had him jump Patriots, even though they won, because of the fact he did a self-scout. In the middle of the season, he took his offensive coordinator and said, diagnose our defense. I want to see what you think is wrong. He did the same thing with Pettin, took it to the offense, and he said, I want to see what you can do to stop this team. Show me how you're going to do it. So he basically went and found his biggest weaknesses in the bye. And Who?
Dillon. He's just sitting there with his shit-eating grin on his face the whole time you're talking over there on my screen.
He can smile at me all he wants.
It was creeping me out, though, because he looks like he's looking at me.
I didn't have my Skype maximized, so I didn't see it. All I saw was you. Dillon, why are you smiling at me, boo?
He is. He's been smiling frozen this whole time. Oh, he's frozen.
No, it's because he's giving me... I know. But yeah, Packers, I feel like they're all healthy guys. I feel like that's a huge reason that they're about to hit the stride, and a defense that we saw a lot of signs of during the first 3 weeks. So don't be surprised if they surprise the 49ers this week. Also, number 3, I jumped the Saints back up. When you got a healthy Alvin Kamara, anything is possible. God dang. Alvin Kamara is just a weapon, guys. It's just that was the missing piece when last week when he just got back, but they barely gave him any touches. I think it was like 9 touches total between receiving and rushing. This week it was almost tripled. I mean, he was getting catches, rushing, and just tearing it up. So Saints are a legit team with Alvin Kamara healthy, and you got Michael Thomas, which, by the way, has 94 receptions in 10 games already, guys. That's a record right now. So don't be surprised if Michael Thomas goes on another tear this week for the Saints.
Ridiculous.
It's literally like we watched Marvin Harrison do it how many years back. And Michael Thomas, it's why he got paid. He's literally carrying this offensive load. When Breeze went out, Teddy was feeding him the ball still, and he was catching everything coming his way. So I can't sit there and knock it. I'm going to keep the Seahawks at 2. Seattle's legit. They beat 49ers, so they're up there. Um, Russell Wilson, Josh Gordon, DK Metcalf. One more you need to say. Chris Carson, who's been a stud running back since the beginning of last season. Their defense is starting to mesh, guys. That's what the scary thing is about Seattle. Getting that Quandre Diggs in late, right before the trade deadline is a biggie. And I feel like it could solidify because they didn't have a safety. Now they do. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit. And then the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, best player up for MVP right now. Russell Wilson's amazing, but Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. And I don't know if this reminds anyone of anybody, but I'm going to name drop a little bit here. Lamar Jackson, in his first 2 years, reminds me of a player the Steelers had way back in about a decade and a half. Dillon, you know what I'm talking about? Oh, yeah. He reminds me of Slash, the way he runs and the way he can sling it. I loved watching Slash. So
see that.
That's a player I can compare him to because that's the way the Steelers used him, and that's a
Cordell
good
Stewart, and I'm sorry, but he's a better quarterback than Cordell Stewart was.
How dare you? I'll conclude on that. Slash 2.0.
He's way better. Sorry. All right. Week 12, top 5 for me. We got the 49ers at number 5, down a spot. The Patriots at number 4, up a spot. The Packers on a bye did not move at number 3. The Seahawks are dethroned this week, down a spot at number 2. And the Ravens jump back up for the second time in 3 weeks as the number 1 overall team. They are rolling on a train right now and look damn near unstoppable. Doesn't mean they are, but right now as it looks, they are rolling, folks. And they definitely, they've smoked the Patriots. There's not a lot of holes the way they're playing right now. I mean, they have holes, but the way they want to play football and the way they are executing, they can stay away from and mask those holes they do have. So
they literally took a really good Texans team and slaughtered them. That was a really good Texans.
Slaughtered. Yeah, they hammered them bad. So, all right. We are going to go to our last break here and then come back and get our final thoughts.
It says here we have to pick Thursday Night Football.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Let's just do that right now, and then we'll take a break.
But it says you have to do that before the break anyway. I'm going by the rundown.
Okay. Well, let's do that then.
I have to give you crap, man.
I wasn't even looking at it. I was just going off of it's getting late.
Dillon,
I'm
can you believe this guy?
My ribs are starting to hurt. The ice is wore off. All right, Thursday night game. Who the hell is even playing this week?
Colts versus Texans. Good game.
I'm taking the Colts. I'm taking the Colts, and I think the Colts are going to win 28-14.
Dillon, what you got, buddy?
I'll take the Texans. I'll go 27-23.
I'm going off of the Thursday Night Football promotion ad that I saw. The last line of it was, who goes ahead and makes male Colts docile? Texans. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. Texans 30, Colts 23. I think they cover the spread.
That makes me the lone wolf, and guess what I will tell you? Do you know what makes a Texan cry? The Colts running wild on you.
New gun laws?
Colts running wild on you. That's what makes a Texan cry. Because he goes home and he goes, I got to eat my beans and I didn't get my horse. I had to walk all the way home. Them damn Colts.
Actually, cattle rustlers make Texans cry, but
whatever.
Wild Colts get bred out by Texans.
No, they
That's
don't.
Why I call ranching. You ever seen Lonesome Dove?
No, we're going to break. You're muted. And if you haven't had enough of our banter tonight, you want to visit NFL Addictions on Facebook.com for all of your NFL